Hi, friends.
Hi, friends.
We're back. It's episode 97 of the Brunch and Judge. I'm trying to think of anything at all. And I got really nothing. So,
I mean,
cool.
what? I was like in 7th, 8th grade.
So, I mean, let's just say that 97 was like all the other 90s. Friends was probably on TV, and people were wearing things they shouldn't wear. And it all is back in style now, so yay.
And makeup that doesn't match your skin tone is in.
Yes. Yes. I do recall that. Anyway, we are your hosts. I'm April.
And I'm Claire.
And this week we have a special episode.
It's a New Year's episode.
I mean, I guess a New Year's Eve episode, technically. That's when this drops, but that's okay. That's what we're here for. We are celebrating.
Going into the new year.
All right. But before we get into that, Claire, what are you judging this week?
I'm judging car people.
Car? Like vroom vroom car people?
Yes.
Oh, God. Yes, please. Keep going.
People who love their cars.
I know. Yeah.
Excuse me while I chew my mints. Because my throat's really dry. No.
Mine too.
Car people. They drive me crazy. At my main job in particular.
Oh, God, yes. I didn't even think about that. Of course they drive. Of course they come to you.
I hate them. I hate them. This, in particular, right now, why I'm judging them. the one thing that's driving me crazy right now. This one customer. So, I don't know. Was it like time is a construct. That's like bizarre to me. But like, let's just say 3 months ago.
Well, yeah,
I don't know.
sure.
It
Why
may
not?
be longer. 3-4-ish months ago. Let's
not
just
last
say that.
week, basically. So
no, it was not last week. But anyway, he comes in and he has a Dodge Charger. I don't know cars.
Yeah.
Hellcat. A Dodge Charger Hellcat. Which they apparently don't make these anymore. And
Probably
this man
for a reason, but okay.
loves this car, and it's white. Okay, it's white.
Okay.
And he wanted the hood wrapped black. Like a matte black.
Why?
I don't know.
Okay.
He's a car person.
Multicolored tones is a good thing? I thought that was a
I
bad
don't know.
thing. I don't know. Keep
But
going.
he wanted the hood, just the hood, wrapped black. And the hood had humps in it because it had the things that like suck in the air. Yeah. Whatever. I don't know.
A car part, but I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I don't. It wasn't the headlights. Okay, not the headlights. I don't. All these guys are gonna be like dying 1,000 deaths because I know nothing about cars.
Like
my boyfriend's listening to this and he's like, Jesus, Claire,
literally screaming right now.
I know, like, what the fuck
us.
is wrong with you? The vents, I don't know what you call them. Anyway,
I know what you're talking about. Yeah. Those
Anyway.
things on the hood.
Yeah, so it's not like this thing is flat at all. You know, it's like, God, I hate this man already. So I had to wrap this hood, which was a giant pain in my ass. I mean, cuss words abounded that day. Like, I put sailors to shame. Let's just put it that way. It was not pretty. It was awful, 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 awful. But I did it. It was done.
Mm-hmm.
He loved it. Anyway, and also he wanted to put at the top on his windshield White Ghost, which what the fuck? He named his car White Ghost.
I mean,
anyway.
Okay.
Anyway, yeah. And so I'm like, okay. Because I mean, it was one of those things where I quoted it high because I was like, I don't want to fucking do this.
Right.
The guy didn't even balk at the price.
He was like,
yeah, let's do it. I'm like,
anything for my baby.
I know. That's why I hate car people. That's why I fucking hate car people. Anyway, So yeah, didn't even balk at the price. So it did it. The guy loved it. Yada yada. He leaves, and I'm like, okay, get the fuck out of here. Go, leave.
It's like I'm done.
No. The man shows back up like 3 weeks ago.
No.
And he apparently he sold that one.
Oh.
And he bought another one.
No.
But this one is burnt orange. Okay.
Okay.
It's another like Dodge Charger Hellcat, but it's burnt orange.
And
he's like, well, no. He was like, well, I bought it and it's just so plain looking. Just so plain looking. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, oh, Jesus.
Burnt orange sure is very plain, but okay.
Right. So he went on eBay or Etsy or some bullshit site. I don't know. And he bought decals from a third party whatever to go on this Hellcat. So it's like a giant stripe thing that goes all the way from one side across the back trunk to the other side.
Okay.
And then stripes that go all the way down both sides. And then like a Mopar logo that he wanted on the hood. And then he wanted me to like cut the word Mopar and stick it on the windshield. Yeah.
Mopar?
It's a car thing. Yes, Mopar. It has to do with cars.
Okay.
I don't know exactly what it has to do with cars, but I've done enough of this Mopar bullshit that I think it has something to do with Dodge specifically. I'm not quite sure. I've never looked it up. I don't care. Anyway, but yeah, I've done enough Mopar logos and bullshit to like it's a car or something.
Well, you're saying it and I was like, is that the name of his car? What the hell?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
It has something to do specifically with car, I think Dodge. Anyway.
Okay.
But it's a car thing. Anyway. I've never
car guy wants car thing on car.
Yes.
Got
it. Yes. Anyway, and then he wanted me to cut like 798 Mopar and stick it on the hood too. I don't know. Anyway, whatever. And then the back stripe had like the Hellcat logo within the stripe and then Hellcat underneath it, you know. And I'm like, oh my God. And so he's like, I need you to put this on because I tried to do it myself and I couldn't do it and I messed it up. So I had to order this again. And number one, we do not, but it's me specifically, I do not like installing other people's vinyl because it's not, 9 times out of 10, it's not the brand that we use. It's some other brand. And I'm like, I don't fucking like these other brands because they suck. You know, it's just like, ugh, it fucking sucks. I don't like it. And when they send it, they roll it. And they never roll it the way that we tell people to roll it. They roll it the opposite direction, which makes it even fucking harder. Because we always tell them to roll it out. Like, roll it with, like, if you're going to roll it out. You know, don't roll it with the backing paper, like, facing outward. Roll it with the design facing out.
Right.
They never roll it that way. They always roll the opposite direction. And they stick it in these teeny tiny tubes. So it's rolled really tight. And so you're trying to unroll it and it's just like, oh my God, this fucking sucks. So he brings this in and we're just like, oh, Jesus Christ. And I'm just like, I don't want to do this. And so basically like, he's like, so how much would you charge? And I'm just like, it is $60 an hour and it's going to take what it takes. Like, there's no way I can quote this because I don't know how long it's going to take me. I really don't. I was like, I don't know. I don't like doing striping. Striping fucking sucks. It's the worst. It's like terrible. And you have to go around like the door handle. And I mean, granted, these people like left the holes where the door handle is, but still like cutting that out, like, it's still hairy. It's not, you know, it's not easy. It's like, Anyway, so this is like 3 weeks ago, and he was like, "Oh, well, I still want to do it. I want y'all to do it because I tried to do it and I messed it up." And it's just like,
it's gonna take me like 3 weeks, and you're gonna have to pay me $7,000.
So it was like, well, you're gonna have to leave this shit with us so we can let it sit out. So it's gonna flatten out. So it's not gonna, because I mean, it was rolled so tight. It just kept rolling. I mean, we had trouble like even like rolling it out to even like look at it. Like, that's how tight this was rolled. And so he was like, that's fine. I'm not in a hurry. Because this being the end of the year, we have like so many vehicles to do for businesses because everybody
Right.
wants to get it in end of the year for tax break next year, whatever, blah, blah,
Right.
blah. So he's like, that's fine. I'll, and so he brings it in. It's, the night before. And so I was going to install it today. And so I go back and I'm like wiping it down with the denatured alcohol. And I go to like stick the tape to it. And the tape doesn't even fucking stick. The man fucking waxed it before he brought it in. And for those of you who don't know, if you put wax or Rain-X, or if you put a ceramic coating on your vehicle, you cannot put any decals on the fucking thing because they will not stick. So, PSA to anybody who wants to get any kind of decals or anything put on your car, do not wax it. Do not put Rain-X on your windows, and do not put a ceramic coating because your decal people will scream at you. And which I was like, nah. And he was like, oh, well, it stuck and he was like, well, I waxed it before I did it and it stuck. And I'm thinking, you are a fucking liar.
Yeah.
And that's probably why it messed up.
Yeah.
Is because you tried to stick it and it wouldn't fucking stick. Bah. Anyway. So again, multiple cuss words today. I mean, I had to wipe it down like a bazillion times with denatured and isopropyl. And even then I was still having trouble and I had to heat the shit out of it with the heat gun.
Yeah.
And even now I'm still like, I'm going to go back in tomorrow morning. And I'm afraid that like,
it's going to have fallen off or something.
Yeah. Like there's going to be parts like puckering and sticking up. And I'm just going to be like, oh God. Cause he came by today at the end of the day just to see. Cause I was towards the end, I was getting that last stripe on the one side and I still had to put the thing on the windshield. So I didn't get that done today. I'll have to do that in the morning. But and he's like, oh, it looks so good. And he was, and they're all back there and they're like, yeah, Claire's a wizard. And I'm like, I'm not a wizard. I'm not a wizard. I'm just
if I were a wizard, I would not be doing this.
I am back here just swearing. Like I'm a wizard at swearing because that's what I'm back here doing.
Wow.
But
that sounds awful. And I'm so sorry.
Because it's like these car people, they want to wax because they're like, I don't want any dirt to stick to my car. Well, you know what else doesn't stick to the fucking car? The decals you want.
Right.
Bah. Anyway, I'm sorry that took longer than I wanted because I was like, oh my God, I explained everything. But anyway.
Well, I loved that because
car people are just like this next level of ridiculousness. And I'm like, I don't understand it.
No.
Like, because we were talking, it was like, I don't even know. Like, if you had like an infinite amount of money to just go out and buy whatever fucking car you wanted, I was like, I just go buy like a Honda Pilot with 3 rows. Like, I'm like, I'm just like, I don't know.
Do you ever get into the part of TikTok where it's like, if you know him or if you know her, which one would they choose or whatever? And it's like 4 pictures or it's like a plan your day, whatever kind of stuff. So like 80% of those things always have like a car page, like your dream car or their dream car. And I just kind of look at them like, I don't even know what these are.
Right. Me either. I'm like,
it's like, I don't really want a sports car unless it's a convertible. Then like, that would be cool to have.
Right. I'm just like,
but like I don't care. It's like, give me the thing that looks like if I get hit by a semi, I'll live, and that's basically my dream car.
That's where I'm at. Yeah.
Which one of these things is paid off? There's my dream car. Like
exactly. Yeah. It's like if I could just go, like, I had an infinite amount of money, I could just go buy a vehicle. Like, I don't know, like, what has a really good safety rating? That's like where I'm at. I don't know what you want from me. Yeah. Anyway,
it's like something that SUV-ish without being too big because I don't want
want like an expedition.
I don't want 3 rows. I don't need that much space. Like, pass.
Right? I'm not out here wanting an expedition that's gonna like get 5 miles to the gallon.
I just want to be able to pack it with a couple of suitcases and some boxes for when I move, guys. That's all.
Right. It's like, I don't know.
Jeez.
Anyway, so
yes,
that's my judge. Like, what the fuck, man? I just over car people.
Yes, absolutely.
So, what is your judge?
So my judge. First, I would like to share some breaking news. Breaking news. the Supreme Court of Colorado has decided that Trump cannot be on the presidential ballot for the state of Colorado. They, of course, are appealing that. They have to have a decision from they're appealing it to the Supreme Court, who has to have a decision by January 5th because the ballots go to print for Colorado.
Right.
So,
what?
So, like, good job, Colorado. So that's all. I saw it popped up like right as we were getting on our call, and I'm like, oh,
you're like breaking news,
breaking
like, really
news.
breaking news.
I mean, by the time you people hear this, they probably already resolved it. But like in the moment, breaking news.
Right.
But my real judge for today, for our New Year's episode, is, I'm sure everyone here knows, but Pornhub released their 2023 United States top relative searches. Now, that means that these terms...
You sent this to me.
No. That means that the terms that were searched most often in each state when compared to the other states. Not that there's a whole bunch of people there who are searching for this, but that...
Right.
More people in this one state search for it than on any of the others.
Compared to everywhere else. Gotcha.
So it's a fun time. I mean, like, some of them are pretty normal, like big boobies or, you know, bouncing boobs or, you know, that's not normal. Even like bondage, that feels pretty relatively normal in the land of things, you know. So like some normal things, but then you get a little worried about some states.
Like South Carolina is like high heels. Like I feel like
that's normal.
That's like or bubble butt is North Carolina. I feel like that's fairly normal.
Guys, I have some concerns about Virginia. I feel like perhaps the tobacco companies have infiltrated the state of Virginia in a way that none of us truly appreciate because, guys, their number one search term for porn was smoking. Smoking.
Right.
That brings to like every stereotype I have of like early porn, like in the 70s and 80s, is of people who would be like smoking in the midst of filming. So like, what are you doing there, Virginia? Another one that I really enjoyed is let's see,
my personal favorite, which shocked me, is Mississippi because it's furry, and I'm like, Mississippi.
What are you doing, guys?
What are we doing down there, Mississippi?
Yes, that one stood out to me as well. The one that I was not surprised by, but was still concerned about, was Utah. Utah was Mormon.
Mormon porn.
Mormon. And I'm like, I mean, okay, not surprised, but also, if you're a Mormon and you're looking for porn, like, what?
Now, the one that cracked me up, just because it's like dumb, is Oregon.
Oh, no. So, no. We were talking about this.
Oh, please explain.
Spencer is the one that sent this to me. So, of course, I shared it with you immediately.
Right.
But so, like,
explain.
The state of Oregon is nudist. But here's the thing. There are nudist colonies in Oregon.
Well, yeah, I get that.
Like,
but still, I just feel like,
so
are we just talking about nudist colony porn? Is that what we're talking about?
Yeah,
But
or
still, I'm just like, nudists. I feel like nudist porn. It's
but,
like, you're
like,
nude when you're doing porn. I'm just saying.
Fair point. But I was like, you know, it makes perfect sense to me. In fact, I did a writing workshop at the library when I worked there, and there was a night when people got to like read an excerpt from something they'd been working on. And this woman is like, it's really a fun story, but it's taking place in a nudist colony, and like some crazy funny things are happening about trying to get into the right nudist colony, like neighborhood, and dealing with like crazy like HOA rules, even though it's nudist, it's complicated. And so, like, it's really funny. I'm enjoying it. And then I find out later that it's not a work of fiction. She's writing a memoir. And I'm like,
oh,
what?
No. Whoa.
It's like, oh, hey.
And another one that I think is, like, bizarre is Arizona. Like, why do you want to see people having sex in cars?
I'm
car
also...
sex? Because I feel like car sex is really awkward and weird and just like, why? Car sex? What?
I am concerned about California.
Yes. That one is also...
Asian stepmom.
Mm-hmm.
It's very specific. It's very specific. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. But then you've got Texas, which is... Oh, God. Texas is creamy.
Blech.
Like, what the fuck, Texas?
Blech.
Come on.
Oh.
Come on.
Oh, my God.
Probably Greg Abbott.
Blech.
Greg Abbott on the Pornhub.
But also, Ohio is pretty hilarious.
Facts.
It's apparently Ohio's is small dick, which I'm concerned.
Like, why?
So
why?
It's a good time. Maryland also is entertaining to me. Got a good glory hole. But you know,
it's like, what the hell?
But so it was a good time. Feel free, guys, to go and search for your own stakes. We did not cover them all. I gotta leave some surprises, but did not know this is a thing Pornhub did every year. But I will look for it from here on out. So thank you, Pornhub.
Yes, indeed.
I love it so much.
Thank you for that, because that was hilarious.
All right. Well, it's our wrap up of 2023. Claire, any big things happened for you in 2023? Is it a big year for you? Any highlights?
Any highlights? Well, I started this weight loss journey.
That's right.
Health journey, whatever we want to call it. Whatever I'm calling it. I don't even know what I'm calling it. Health journey, I guess. Weight loss. I don't know. Anyway. That I started back in March. Officially, I'm 77 pounds down since March.
Congratulations. That's amazing.
Yes, because I had a weigh-in today. And I'm under 300. So
officially, yay!
Officially, according to their scale, under 300.
That's right.
I am down 77 pounds. You know, and could potentially lose 100 in the year if I keep going. I mean,
yeah. I mean,
maybe I don't want to like get there. So I mean, I don't want to like put that pressure on myself. So.
Good goal to have, but
yeah,
it's
I don't
okay if you don't.
Yeah, I don't want to put that pressure on
you're
myself.
You're doing amazing.
Because it's dumb to like be like, I have to lose 100 pounds by this date. That's stupid. You know, I don't want to put that pressure on myself. If I do, great. If I don't, I've lost 77 pounds.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah. I say that's probably the biggest thing for me right now is doing that. And also, along with that, the body image thing, because I'm still not used to, I'm still like picking bigger sizes. Like, I'm like, oh, I still need that 2X and I still need that 3X in these shirts and pants and things, and I don't. And then when I get them and I'm like, oh, this is bigger than what I don't really need that anymore. And it's hard too, because it's like I don't want to like buy a crap ton of clothes, because if I continue, I don't want to just like be like, ooh, I just dropped $300 on all these clothes. And I'm not gonna be in them very long. You know, I don't want to do that either. So it's just like, I don't know what I'm doing. So I'm just gonna live my best life in leggings and
That's a good choice.
maybe
Yes.
and maybe one pair of jeans. Oh, that's another thing. I've got my 18 pair of jeans, so size 18. So it's like, yay me.
That's amazing. It's been a
That
really
was
big year for you. Like,
yeah,
huge.
yeah. And the place I work at, the business sold, and that was something.
The transition and handover.
Yeah, that was
It was
something.
a journey.
It was that I had the weight loss journey, had the job journey, had I've been on lots of journeys lately. I don't know if Tarot said journeys a lot this year, but
I don't remember. We'll have to go
I know,
back and listen
I know
to
we got the
episode.
Pope a lot, and the Pope was like, learn your
Lord.
shit.
I still
Maybe that was
shit.
I don't know if that was like the learning I needed.
I've learned nothing.
I learned nothing. I learned nothing. Yeah. So yeah, Claire's been on lots of journeys this year. This has been the year for journeys for Claire. So
Yeah.
Indeed. I think those were like the two big things for me, I guess. So what about you? What was your 2023 like?
Well, yeah. I mean, I guess technically also big journeys in that
Yes.
I went from running a library system on the other side of the country to this side of the country unemployed.
And you journeyed from one side of the country to the other.
And I literally drove all the way across this continent. Like, good Lord. Quite a journey. I did see some cool things. I saw Mount Rushmore and I saw the Badlands and I went to some random drugstore in the middle of the desert.
That had the weird
the creepy animatronic things.
Yeah.
Like, where? Because like every person who'd ever been in that area was like, you have to go to, it's like Waldron, I think, drug or something like that.
I remember you sent me the video and I was like, what am I watching?
And like I popped in and I got like a chocolate shake or whatever because they have a restaurant and an ice cream bar and a disco and a bowling alley for all I know. 15,000 places to shop and spend your money, but whatever. And so like I got a chocolate shake, but then I saw the weird animatronic guys in a back corner, basically.
Yeah.
So like away. So almost like down a little hallway. It was so weird. And I'm like, what the hell? Why are people telling me to go here? But yeah, so I journeyed across these United States and have knocked off quite a few states on my hadn't been to list. So there's still a few in the middle. Sorry.
There's just like
a couple that are like way up north that I just
drive through states. Yeah.
That I was like, I'm going south now. So I drove through the state of Iowa.
So you like have been there
and was like, would have zero reason to ever be in the state. Can't come up with the good one. So there's that. I was like, this was
a
state I drove through. Sure was. Just
it's here.
It's a whole different topography in the middle of the United States. Not for me. Not for me.
I get that. Yeah.
But whatever.
I got another tattoo this year.
Oh, that's right. You did.
Much to my father's chagrin.
So yeah, 2023 was a big year for both of us. But we are now in the same time zone, and I have seen you more since I moved to this side of the country than I did before. So, cool. But
so maybe sometime I'll be able to come up and see you.
Yes.
Now that you're on this side of the country, I'll be able to see you more.
So it's been a good year for us here at the Brunch and Judge. I think we completed a full calendar year of episodes because we started in February. So
that's right. Yes, we did.
So Claire, I thought it would be fun if we took some time and talked about our favorite stories that we did in 2023, because I want to make sure everybody knows there are some really great ones that maybe didn't get as many listens as some of the others. And I'm like, no, you're missing this epic story.
Right.
So I'm going to go through some of my favorite ones that Claire did. And just so we can chat about them. So I'm going to be honest. One of my, like, when I went through and looked at them all, and one of my all-time favorites, I think, for all time, that I reference more frequently than I'm comfortable admitting to just random people in my life.
Is it your Roman Empire?
It's almost my Roman Empire. Like, it just stuck in my brain, and so, like, it's just there. But it was Einstein's Brain in a Jar.
Oh my God, that one was.
I still am flabbergasted. I have literally told my parents love to go like antiquing, to
Right.
not to like buy stuff, but like to go shop around and look, see what's there, blah blah blah. And I'm like, Ma, you might find a jar that has a piece of Einstein's brain in it. And she's like, what is wrong with you? And so like it's every time I go into like a weird little like thrift shop or whatever, I kind of look, I go to the Goodwill and I'm like,
I'm
just in case. I mean, is there a jar that has Einstein's brain in it? Like, I mean, apparently there's just pieces floating around everywhere. And the fact that like the guy was just driving around with chunks of Einstein's brain in jars and giving them out. Like, I can't.
Right? Like, what is happening? I know when I was reading this, I was like, "Oh my God, what
I
is
love that
this story?"
episode so much, and I think about it a lot.
I think you're like, I think about it a lot.
I mean, I swear that it has come up in conversations with people who have no concept that I have a podcast and you have that we do this.
Right.
That I'll just randomly be like, "But did you know?"
Right. You're like, but wait.
And then they're like, why do you know? Because the reaction is like, why do you know this every time? And I was like, why didn't you?
It's like, but why don't you know this? Like, you should know this.
I feel like this is something that John Oliver would cover and be like,
right,
in one of his stories. And somehow acquire not one, not two, but like 7 pieces of Einstein's brain. Because that feels like a thing they do. But that was one of my absolute favorites. Think about it all the time. And don't worry, guys. I'm going to make sure to tag that up here so you can click away. But if you want to write it down, Einstein's Brain in a Jar is episode 56. It's worth it. So that was my favorite.
I should have done that. I didn't write down what episode number. I have to scroll through and look.
You can just tell me, because I'm just going to, I'll put it in the notes.
Yeah, I didn't even think to say what episode.
Yeah, feel free to check the notes, because that's usually the safest place to get information from us anyway. So that was my favorite. My second favorite, though, was you had like a really good run of episodes at the beginning of the year where you just like blew my mind several times. Because my next favorite episode that kind of sticks with me in a way that makes me go bleh was the Busby Stoop chair, the death chair.
Yeah.
Which was 2 episodes later, by the way. So that was episode 58.
That one, I think that one was on like the first time I've ever heard of that was like on an episode of like Unsolved Mysteries. And I was like, what? Ew, 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 ew. Oh, why would you even like put that chair somewhere where anybody could touch it? Like, I remember thinking that as a child. Like, why? Ew.
Yeah, I feel like maybe I should be like, oh, hey, no. Hey guys, by the way, Einstein's Brain in a Jar episode is about how after Einstein died, his brain got basically stolen, cut into pieces, and then distributed randomly through the United States. Go listen. The Busby Stoop chair / death chair is an episode in which if you sit in this chair, you will die. And
multiple people died just by touching it. They didn't even really sit in it. Somebody bumped into it accidentally and then they died of an aneurysm.
And you're just like, what the hell? And it's just, Like the fact that they held on to the chair. It was one of those things where one had
It
never
took them
really heard of
forever
it,
to like finally nail it up on the wall so nobody could fucking touch it.
because they were like, "Oh, don't touch that chair," and like the one I just got pushed into, like it's not my fault.
Right.
Like the responsibility is on them to,
right.
Move the chair. So loved it. Love that episode. It was amazing. And then my third favorite, we're just doing top threes. My third favorite was the poisonous Prohibition episode.
Oh my God.
Because two reasons. One, I almost did it, didn't tell her.
And then I was like, I'm gonna do this, and she was like, oh, I almost did it, and I was like, shut up.
Like I had started looking and then went, I want to do something else. So like, almost did it. But two, because it's flabbergasting to me,
right,
that the government continued to poison things, knowing
right
that people were going to die, and not caring at all about it. Like it just. I mean, not really flabbergasting. I'm aware of how terrible the government is, blah, blah, blah. But also, I feel like
I had several this year of how shitty our government is.
It is a theme. We have that theme.
I did several, though, because I had that one. I had the Operation Paperclip or Project Paperclip. I had the Challenger.
Yep.
Like, I feel all of those were like, our government is a piece of shit.
You're not wrong.
Shitty.
But Poisonous Prohibition is episode 92. So, just in case you need to know
I think the more I got into that, I was just like, this is outrageous. Like, we don't want you all to drink, so we're just going to keep on finding ways to poison you assholes.
Yeah.
Like, what?
Well, because now I'm over here like, well, what other things is the government trying to keep me from consuming by poisoning them and telling me they're bad when actually they're fine?
But not only that, I just think about, okay, so there's that. But then I think about, like Nellie and I were just talking about, somebody brought up Kinder eggs and how...
Yes, you can't have them here. We have to have the
and I said,
shocky ones.
Yeah. So I was like, oh, America, where you can't have a piece of chocolate with a toy inside of it, but they will allow you to have all these terrible chemicals that are not allowed anywhere else. Like red dye and all this other bullshit. Like all these other things that are in our foods that are absolutely banned everywhere else in the world. But we can have them. But then it's like, oh, you can't have a Kinder egg because there's a toy inside of this piece of chocolate. And it's just like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Come on. Everything about our government is trash. I'm sorry.
Yes, it is.
I hate it. I hate it here. It's awful. Anyway.
So those were my 3 favorite episodes that Claire did in 2023. Yay. I love them so much. You were so good.
Oh, okay. So my 3 favorite episodes that April did in 2023. The first one, I think I did mine in like my 3rd favorite. I start with number 3.
Sure. Uh-oh.
Yeah, Gwen Shamblin in her weight loss church, the Way Down Workshop one.
Oh God, yes.
Like that, it was just
that
God.
the hair.
And it was just like the more weight she lost, the more that she just started looking like Skeletor.
Yes.
And it was,
to me, that like, the thing that made me go like, what the fuck, is that someone who wrote like a weight loss guide or whatever, used Jesus for weight loss, created an entire church around eating disorders, and people bought in.
Right.
Not like snake handling church level where like 10 people buy in.
Yeah.
But like hundreds of people bought in.
Like thousands. I mean, across the country,
and
you know.
To the point that they were willing to change theology.
Right.
And believe something that they'd never believed before.
Yeah, and she's over here like, what was it? She said that she didn't believe in the Trinity, and it was just like, whoa. What are you doing?
And I'm like, you are a witch. 1,000% Lilith.
1,000% Lilith. Absolutely.
Actually, okay. I would love to. I know she died, which is one of those things. It's like sad, but also comforting in a way that you can't describe.
Yes.
Because
she's not out there.
Because it's the culty. She's not doing more harm.
Right.
But I would love it if like Gwen Shamblin and is it Greg
Locke
could, be in a room together and like argue back and forth. They could be amazing to watch.
Oh, that would be something. I would pay money for that. I would be like, I want to see that. Yes. Yeah, Lord. That was like one of my favorites. Yes, because I was just like, this
so
is
culty
bananas. And then like her like divorcing her husband because he couldn't, because his weight yo-yoed and then he couldn't keep it off, and then her kind of like shoving her son out of the leadership of the church because he gained weight.
It was so gross.
Yes,
everything about it was disgusting. I mean, it was definitely a cult. It's definitely a cult, but like. Right. It went to a place of just ugh.
Yeah. Yes.
Good. I'm glad you liked that one. Okay.
Yes,
okay.
That one. My second favorite one was the Golden Globe race. I love that one.
We have to thank my friend Brian, who originally told that story for another podcast that we did, and I was so enamored by the fact that was a thing that existed I'd never heard of. I held on to it so that I could share it. Oh, God.
Well, it just cracked me up because they were like, the whole theme of that was like procrastination.
Yes.
Everybody just fucking procrastinated.
Or just quit.
And thought they could just like, and thought they could just like do it. Like, I'll just wait till the day of and just fucking go. And you're like, wait, what?
It's fine.
And then you had the one guy who just cheated. It was like, wait,
what are you doing?
What's happening?
Just everybody failed. It was fine.
I know.
Oh.
Wait, didn't you have the one guy? There was one dude who made it.
One guy made it. Yep. One guy. Yeah. Everybody else quit, cheated, or went cuckoo bananas, and then
that one dude like
unalive yourself in the middle. I mean, like after he'd created the craziest like fraud deception of it was. I'm sorry, it was bananas. I mean, it's sad. It was a sad story on his part, but you're just like, what is even happening right now?
Right. You're like, what is this? But yeah, I just thought the whole thing was wild.
Well, and my favorite one is the guy who just decides this is stupid and sails off to Tahiti or wherever he had been living.
He was just like,
fuck this.
He got like so far and then he's just like, deuces, I'm out.
He's like, I'm gonna go somewhere tropical.
I'm gonna go somewhere tropical and live.
Oh, Lord.
And I'm like, that's my kind of
I know.
solution to this. Absolutely. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then I think my favorite, just because it was one of those that you're just like, the more you got into it, the worse it fucking got. The Johnstown Flood.
My God.
It was just like, it can't possibly get worse. And then by the end, you're like, oh, it flooded. And then all this barbed wire. And then it got stuck. And then things fucking caught on fire. And you're like, wait, what is happening?
So people are literally slamming into barbed wire on fire while the water is trying. I mean, like it's the most.
Because you're like in the wave and it crashed and then it back and then back. And it's just like, oh my God. And then it's like fire and barbed wire and it just keeps going. And I'm like, oh my, what in the world?
Oh my goodness. That was a great episode.
That was one of the wild ones that I was like, what? Do you think it really was? That was one of the ones where it did just kept, and you're like, By the time you got to the fire, I was like, stop it. You were making shit up now.
And I'm like, I'm absolutely not. This is
So you have rain and flood, and now things are on fire? Like, wait, what?
Well, it's like we're not gonna, alert the people downstream. We're gonna just be like, it's fine. We're not gonna try that hard to let them know that a wall of water is coming to destroy everything in its path. So it's fine.
Not just a wall of water. A wall of water and barbed wire. Like, what the hell?
Yes, because it went through a barbed wire factory. That's what it was. Like, it's the most obscene. Like, it doesn't sound real. It is unfortunately very real. Thankfully, it happened a very, very long time ago in the 1800s. So it feels distant enough that we can laugh about the ridiculousness. But
right.
Oh my God.
But yeah, that was like my favorite because it just kept going. I mean, it really did. It was just like, wait, no. Oh my God, no. Like, it was, I just kept like, stop. It has to stop sometime. Like certainly it's going to end eventually.
No, it's still happening right now.
Apparently. But yeah, I feel like that one was my favorite of the bunch because I was just like, what?
That's amazing.
Oh my God. Although, I really feel like an honorable mention for me was like the story behind Scream.
Terrifying.
Because I had no idea. This is an honorable mention. I had no idea that was based on a true story. And that movie for me was like, as a child. And I'm going to say child because even though I was like teenager, that movie scared the shit out of me. Because I feel like it was like real. It wasn't Freddy Krueger. It wasn't Michael Myers, like these made up bullshit. It was teenagers killing teenagers. And I think that's why it terrified me so bad is it's like, that's something that could possibly really happen. Right. I think that's why it terrified me so badly is it's just like, this is kids killing kids, even though it's high school kids, but whatever. I think that's why I was terrified. But, yeah, and I was like, oh my God, this was based on something real? Like, what? No. I think that's what was like, why? Oh my God, I did not even know that. So, yeah.
Yeah, I had neither. That was one of those magical finds I had Googling, and I'm like, shit, how have I never heard this story with all the Dateline I watch?
Right? And it was so terrible. Like the story was like loosely based on that the guy saw and was like, oh, I'm gonna write a crazy ass movie about some psycho killer that's kind of like this. And it was just like what really happened was I almost feel worse than what was in the movie.
Yeah.
Him like cutting that girl's head off and like setting it on the fucking shelf, and I'm like, oh my, what?
Well, and then it was the guy watching the episode about it.
Yeah.
Thinking that someone had broken into his place.
Yeah.
And like he gets a knife and he's going through this. He's like, oh, epiphany, let's make a movie. And like,
right. Yes. Yeah. Honorable mention. Yes.
My honorable mention for you was the Crescent Hotel, because I still haven't been able to look at mirrors since you told the story in a way that doesn't freak me the shit out. So
I'm sorry.
There are no mirrors down here. Not a one.
You're like, no.
When I go to the bathroom in the middle of the night, like last night, because Aggie woke me up trying to vomit on the bed. Thank you.
No.
It's fine. So I got up, had to clean up barf, but then I went to the bathroom and I don't turn on the light. I don't look at the mirror. I just kind of walk over to the toilet and I'm like, doo, doo, doo. Thankfully, like the mirror is back to the side. So I'm like, nope, can't see it. Everything's fine. Playing on my phone. Hate mirrors. Hate them. So thank you for that nightmare, Claire. Thank you.
I apologize for nothing.
But you had a lot of really great like ghosty stories that had something about them that I was like, no, fuck that shit, no.
Right. There are so
No.
many of those stories out there though, where it's like, no,
I'm like, no,
absolutely
no,
not.
no.
Like, what are we doing? Why
So,
did you make that decision? Stop it.
cause like,
Like, what were you smoking? Get out. Leave.
what was the Liberty Hall in Kentucky? There was
Right.
something in that story that bothered me, and I don't remember what it was, and I don't want to be reminded. But like, I remember being like, "Where are you getting this stuff from? I hate it."
I think that was the one where there was like an opera singer that like screams at people.
That just
or something.
screams. It's just like,
screams at people.
No. Oh no.
April's like, no,
No.
I don't want anybody screaming at me.
Just no, absolutely not. So, so, well, it was definitely a good year. We had a good time with our stories. Definitely going to put all of the episodes we mentioned in our notes, and I'll try and include them throughout here so that you can click on them and listen to some of those stories because they were really good ones that we really enjoyed. Well, Claire,
Yes.
you know what comes after 2023?
Yes.
2024. Do you have any resolutions for the year that you want to share? You know, to keep you honest, obviously.
Obviously. Well, I'm going to be turning 40. So,
Yay!
Yay!
Welcome to 40.
That's right. 2024, I will be turning 40. Well, let's see. I want to continue this weight loss journey, health journey, whatever I'm fucking calling it.
Mm-hmm.
I want to continue that because I do. I feel better. I want to be better. Let's see. You know what? I need to organize my fucking house because that meme where it's like I look like I'm losing a game of Jumanji. That's me. That is me. Lilith, 1000%.
1000% Lilith.
1000% Lilith. Losing a game of Jumanji over here. That's me. It's just, it's bad. It's bad. I've really just, ever since like quarantine and COVID, it's just like, nobody's been here. So it's just like compiled in boxes and yeah.
I understand.
It's just bad. Bad. Yeah. That's probably like my biggest is I just need to like work on decluttering my house and cleaning my house. That would be my biggest one. Yeah, probably. That's my biggest one.
This sounds pretty good.
I would say another one is work on some of these little projects that I've accumulated over time, like my cross stitch and my Lego set, and I don't think I've got any more painting things. I think it's mostly just cross stitch and the Lego. I might have a paint by number or something. Something like that. Those little things. I have them. I've got lots of them. Oh, I have the little like gem ones, little like sparkly ones.
Right.
Yeah, I've got a couple of those. Yeah. I need to like work on doing those and getting them up, framing them or something. I have those that I need to work on. So those would probably be goals, resolutions, whatever you want to call them.
That sounds good. Well, I wish you the best.
For the new year. Yes. What about you? What do you want to, anything you want to accomplish or?
Let's see. I would like to read more differently. I don't know.
Fair.
I don't know how to like
different types of books. Is that what you were saying?
Well, so like I've gotten into this weird rabbit hole of trying to find a specific feel of a book. And then when I decide, well, I really want to read this and I get it, I'm like, I actually don't want to read this. I feel like what I'm looking for is really not something that I've read before. I need to find some new, different types of things instead of just assuming. But, I don't know. It's been kind of a rut this year. I've been enjoying my Louise Penny journey, but a lot of the books I read this year were okay. And I think I'm really missing great and can't stop thinking about kinds. And I think I've just been reading some of the easier pulp fiction or like, no offense, TikTok, book talk things that people hype but are actually pretty basic stories that are good.
Yeah.
But not great. So I guess you need to find some new recommendations. But nothing pretentious. Because, like, if we were villains, everybody, you can hate me, it's fine. If we were villains, super pretentious. The Secret History, I hated it. It was very pretentious.
I didn't read that one.
I didn't like it at all. Bunny, which everyone's been reading, I made it halfway through and couldn't stand it. It was super pretentious. Like, I don't want this. So... It's not.
You
it's
DNF'd
not.
That one, right?
I did because I was like, I don't care. I don't care what happens to any of these people.
I did make it through If We Were Villains, but it was just like, Jesus Christ, man, why did you put all that Shakespeare in there? Oh my God.
Yeah, I hated it. Well, and Secret History is a crap ton of philosophy, and I love philosophy, guys. You know this, but it's
right.
I found it all boring and tedious, but whatever.
Right.
So that's one of my goals. My second goal is, I feel like I want to try and this sounds funny. My second goal is to find a goal.
Yeah.
I'm not somebody who has like a specific dream that I want to accomplish. So like I want to try and find something that I do and really work towards it, as opposed to just like waiting to something to magically fall in my lap and be like, here's a dream for you to dream, you know. So I envy people who have that, but I don't really have that. So but my number one most big important goal, the thing that I'm really going to focus on, is that I really want to change how I think about success and doing well. Because like growing up, I was a really smart kid. I always got A's. I was, you know, the little brown noser, golden overachiever, gifted, garbage, whatever. And to me, success was I got an A, or I got it the first time, and it wasn't about putting in work or effort. It was just about getting it done and accomplishing it and be like, achieve.
And being right. Yeah.
And being right. About winning and that kind of stuff.
Exactly.
So there has been kind of a switch in how I think parents today encourage their kids, or are trying to. I've seen randomly on TikTok, the people who happen to have kids will sometimes talk about how they tell their kids, you worked really hard for that, or you worked really hard, I'm so proud of you, instead of you won, I'm so proud of you, or you got an A, I'm so proud of you. So I, as a 40-year-old, realized that like I have a sense of, if I don't win, if I don't get it right the first time, that it's a failure.
Gotcha.
So like I really want to change that and focus on like not knocking off the moon lamp every 5 minutes. It's right next to me, guys. You know, that kind of just focus on working hard in order to improve and not see failure as a bad thing, just a thing. Sometimes you work really hard at something and it fails, and that's okay. You figured out how not to do it next time. I want to change to that mentality.
Gotcha.
That's my New Year's resolution, to undo 40 years of good girl.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
That's not hard. It's easy, right?
No,
like, totally,
not hard at all.
Totally fine.
Not hard at all.
So, that's the thing that Gonna read my 52 books this year. And
That's one thing I am proud of myself because I have like blew that out of the water.
That out of the water. I will just barely make it. I'm at 51 and I have about 40% left of a book that I'm reading right now. So I'll finish it hopefully before the end of the year.
Yeah. No, I was just like, I was determined because I was like, I don't think I've ever done that. If I have, it was back when I was a child and reading all the fucking time, you know.
Fair. I always set it as my goal. Most years I hit it, some years I don't. But I always try and be like, well, that's okay.
Right.
It's a goal. I haven't failed because I didn't get it.
Yeah. Yeah. No. I read some pretty good ones this year. I felt like we're pretty good.
Yeah, you got to read.
You've read a lot more than I have.
Well, you read a lot of the books that like could be like, no, this one is really good, or this one really does have a fun twist. You know, this one is whatever. Yeah. Or I could at least tell you if it was real or not. But because I would always be like, I need you to read this book so you can tell me what you think about it. Which is usually code for, I really hated this book. I need you to tell me if I'm right or wrong.
Right. Which is why I was like, you need to read The Other Black Girl so we can discuss because.
I will. I will put that on my list. Because.
I have feelings. I have feelings. And I'm just like.
You have feelings. Well. Let's see. Oh, we should do a tarot reading for the new year.
Indeed.
All right, guys. It's time for tarot time with April. Spooky. Do. All right, Claire.
Yes.
Are you ready?
Yes.
Tell me when to stop.
Okay.
This is for all of 2024.
All of it.
Like a general 2024. What is our 2024 going to look like in general terms?
Gotcha. Should all the acquaintance be forgot and never brought to mind? Should all acquaintance be forgot? Something old lang syne. Stop. I forgot. I was like, oh shit, what's the words?
For the sake of old lang syne.
For the sake, okay.
Although, I mean, I don't think that's the technical original words, but that's
right.
What
like my brain,
English people say.
My brain went blank. I was like, All
right. 2024. We have the I was about to say sticks. 7 of wands.
7 of sticks.
7 of sticks. Sticks. Claire.
What?
You did this.
Oh, you did this.
You did this. The Pope.
Spoke it into existence.
You spoke it into the universe, and the universe delivered. And we have the 6 of sticks. 6 of wands.
We haven't seen him in a minute. He missed us.
He did miss us. Apparently, we're gonna learn things.
We still gotta learn things this year, April.
I
don't want to learn.
Although I did just say, I'm trying to relearn things.
I started to say, did you not just say that you needed to relearn?
I didn't mean it.
I didn't mean it.
All right. The 7 of Wands is about taking a stand, drawing a line in the sand, standing on your own 2 feet.
Damn.
I mean, all right. Let's see. This card comes up for a few different reasons. Tenacity is always present, but in different ways. The softest meaning is that you're literally working your way to the top. You've got your goal in sight, and you're doing what you need to take care of it. Next, you have to defend your goal or your path. Someone is questioning you or doubting you, and they don't care whether you fail. In fact, they may be invested in seeing you fail. The challenge is now coming from outside rather than within. The change in motivation might affect how you carry yourself. Sounds like we're struggling with our New Year's resolutions. We got to fight for 'em, Claire.
I know, right?
Let's see. The serious meaning of this card is that someone is threatening you or your loved ones. This card is not only about being brave and deciding how far is too far, but also about deciding what kind of life you want to have. Feels like a very New Year kind of card to me.
I started to say, that's what I was like, yeah.
Interesting. So this is the New Year's resolution card,
right?
And then we'll hit some high points of the Pope card when I find him again.
Since we've not had him in a minute.
We have not had him in a minute.
After we had him for like 8 weeks in a row.
I'm trying to remember. The Pope is my card, right? The Hierophant, isn't he my birth card? Is that what we decided? Or is the Pope different? I'm having that weird memory lapse of... Okay, it's my birth card? It's my birth card.
Him and Temperance, right?
Yes. Just making sure I'm not insane.
No.
Okay.
Nope.
Okay. My book literally opens to it at this point. Because we've had it so much.
Right.
Let's see. I'm going to just kind of skip through, because she talks a lot about it, because for her, she had the belief that the Pope / Hierophant was about social conformity and religion, but then she realizes that it's more like the trickster gods or the go-between between, you and the gods.
Okay, gotcha.
But, they're all like Hermes and Loki and it's not Anansi. I can't ever say that right. Jesus, by the way, also go-between. It's like, let's see. Tricksters never made anything easy. The Hierophant, the Pope, earned those robes and his followers. He's got 2 people listening intently to him. Not on my card. Okay. Oh. You don't just get... Because it's talking about the cross keys, which is the sign of the Pope. But you don't just get them handed to you. You have to earn them. You don't just get to assume you know everything. You have to be cunning, clever, and fast. You have to work so you can get to the throne so that you can get your keys.
Oh.
So, I think I'd been leaving that part out. You gotta, work, try.
Yeah.
This feels more New Year's resolution to me.
Right.
But also, the Hierophant is a teacher. He can represent a group, a class, or an authority. Let's see. It can indicate the need to conform and educate yourself, or that you need to establish a spiritual tradition. A pathway to gain the education that lets you live your most authentic life. So, still got to learn things, but we have to work for it. Does that feel right to you?
Yes. You got to work for it.
All right. And the last card
you
we have.
Put in the work.
The 6 of Wands. Let's see. Okay, this is the hero being honored for his service. Oh. This card is optimism, hope, and excitement, but it isn't always such a noble card. It has a little bit of, look what I've done, see all my accomplishments, self-confidence, swagger, and pride. So,
me.
Let's see. One of the things I always notice with this card is he's still moving. He's not finished yet. I guess so.
We're still here,
think
bitches.
the most successful people never stop setting goals for themselves. There's always something more to accomplish. Okay, so this is the most annoying reading ever because it's resolutions. You gotta work for it. You gotta stay strong for your resolutions in order for them to work out. But you just gotta keep doing it. You gotta keep going.
You gotta put in the work.
You gotta put in the work. Learn what you gotta learn so that you can do it. But then once you accomplish the goddamn things, you got to set new ones. So what the hell?
Well, it's a cycle.
Okay.
It's like life, April. It's
look,
life.
guys, we gave you New Year's resolutions as a tarot reading. Huh. It can only happen here. You think that I have the vaguest idea. But, I know nothing. I still have to read this book every time because I don't. It's just sheer dumb luck. All right. The universe is telling us to make resolutions, work towards them, accomplish them, and then set new ones.
Yay.
Yay us. Good times. All right. Well, we will not be spinning our Wheel of Fate because we have already done so. So be sure to join us next week when we talk the first topic of the 2024 podcast year, Satanic Panic. Yay!
It says New Year like Satan.
1000% Lilith.
Lilith.
Well, thank you everyone for joining us this week for our fun remembrance of 2023 and our excitement for 2024. We hope that you join us next week for our fun Satanic Panic episode. But until then, you can find us in all the things and at all the places at
Brunch and Judge.
Please follow, like, comment, subscribe. And you can send us topics for our wheel or any specific stories you'd like us to cover in 2024 to us at
brunchandjudge@gmail.com.
So until next year, keep on brunching.
And keep on judging.
Bye.
Bye.